Hey everyone, this is LuckySevenDX. Welcome back to Let's Play Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. In the last episode, we continue to go through the airway. The Dark Star's been continuing to evade us, and these guys are really hard to dodge because, as you can see, you can't dig underground. So, good luck trying to avoid these guys. That makes it pretty hard. But we're reaching the end of the airway. It shall almost be time for our climactic battle with the Dark Star itself. Two simple plumbers be able to take on the force of ultimate evil. Well, how many forces of ultimate evil have they already taken on, I suppose, in the past? I think it's pretty much status quo for them at this point. I'm actually pretty low on my health. I'll have to heal up soon, but I think this 93 HP for Luigi will be enough to last me to the end. As you can see, though, we just got all the beans in the airway. That being said, there's some more beans and Peaches Castle that, to get, so I'm going to actually save the whole bean giving thing until I get those beans, because there's not really that many beans to give out at the moment. Anyway, as we've experienced way back at the very beginning, like I said, this water's not very important. This is the only other time you get to see the water. There's basically, we have to freeze the water if we want to be able to use it as a platform. Otherwise, it will sink, and that will be bad. So, hey! Level up just in time. Level 29 already. That's pretty cool in my book. We're gonna go ahead and give ourselves some stash here. Maybe, can I get a 6 or a 5? Maybe 6, 5, something? 4. A little disappointing. Hopefully next level I can get a stash point and that'll be an even 60 and that'll be all nice and fun and happy. But we'll give Luigi stash. Luigi, just a stash master. His stash is over 20 bigger than Mario's, or is it only 15? I don't know. Well, now it's over 20, that's for sure. 81 stash. Luigi, you are such a pro. But that's just the way Luigi works, of course. Anyway, there's actually a bunch of blocks here. This is actually key to a hidden item that's actually not really that important, but we're gonna get it regardless. You can get retry clock over here. Unfortunately, there's no way back because the water is just. I guess if I should have kept it frozen, then I wouldn't have rose up again, or I should have frozen it while I was on top of it. That's the way to get that by there without doing that. But regardless, it doesn't take that long to get over here. And then you actually want to go in this little icky sticky stuff over here because it'll lead you to a pipe over here, and the pipe will drop you right into those blocks. So if you hit the invisible blocks, you'll be able to go over here and get yourself a nice item after fighting Air Cannon. Because let's face it, you're not avoiding this guy. Maybe we can do the item first. Starware. This is the other item we could have bought inside the Star Shop. However, once again, the AOK-ware and the Masterware completely outclass it, so who cares? But it's there if you want it. You can sell it for cash, I suppose, if you need to. But there's another fight. Man, that was almost like half. That was almost half a level right there. Like, as you can see, the airway is going to be a great place to grind after post-game when I have to do all the gauntlet stuff. Which I will do. I will indeed do. I might take a little break and start my next LP before I do the gauntlet stuff, but I'm not sure how we're going to do that. Depends on how quickly I can grind and stuff and things. And what I want to do with grinding, because I might have a little special thing to do with the whole grinding process. We'll see. We shall see, guys. But I'm going to just get everyone back to full stats here, because the boss, he is coming. I'm not going to bother wasting much on Luigi, because by the time he takes his next turn, he'll heal that regardless, so who really cares? But we actually are at the end, so it's time. Mario, Luigi. Whoa, the colors just became all inverted. That's never a good thing when colors go all inverted. That usually means bad things shall happen. And Starlo, yeah, the dark power it's so terrifying, man. It makes the colors all inverted. The power of inversion. It's scary. But I mean, they give this whole like, it's almost like a final boss sort of speech. Like, are you ready? Better be ready. You better be. Well, don't worry. This isn't the final boss quite yet. This isn't part final, but this is the beginning of the end. I consider this the beginning of the long, quote unquote, final boss stretch, because really, we're gonna be facing a lot of very fearsome enemies, pretty much almost in a row. Like, I'm pretty sure the next 4 episodes are really just gonna be lots of boss fights. And that's actually pretty exciting. I think we've actually fought our last wild random encounter for this video just a little while ago. How exciting is that? But the Dark Star has absorbed all of Bowser's DNA at this point, and thus, he begins to form the ultimate villain. That's right. It's this thing. A sort of murky, dark, Bowser-y sort of thing. The Dark Star has gained Bowser's powers, including even the power of inhalation. Luigi! No! Luigi! No! He ate Luigi. Well, luckily for us, Luigi does give people indigestion. Mario stops him with his hands like a pro. As you can see, he has gained Bowser's abilities, but luckily for us, he's not going to fight us as Dark Bowser. He's going to fight us. Whoa! that does look pretty evil. He's just gonna play us as the Dark Star. I guess he's more complete that way or whatever. Because as you saw, he was a little hazy. He doesn't necessarily look 100% complete yet, and that's gonna come into play later on. However, this is the Dark Star, and it's the boss right in the face. As you can see, though, we're going to go ahead and try to attack him, and we're going to do 0 damage. That's because he actually has a barrier up, and you can't attack him yet. The way we're going to have to do it is have to deal with these little minion things here, the Dark Star. I think they're Starmites or Starlings. But as you can see, the whole invisible thing, like I said in the last episode, it does come back into play here, where we have a sort of like hit the Dark Star part, like projectiles while they're invisible sort of thing. So kind of funny how the enemies sort of prepare you for that. Anyway, these guys will also attack with lasers. They're fiery in their lasers, and you're gonna have to dodge all of their lasers. Dark Satellmites. It's like dark satellites or something like that. I don't know. Is that actually? It might actually be. I need to look at the spelling again before I realize that. But you want to attack the Dark Satellmites. Yeah, it's like Satellmites or something like that. I don't even know how you pronounce that. I do love this attack right here, where he basically takes your shadows, and you have to dodge according to what shadow is being attacked. So you have to, obviously Luigi's a taller shadow, so that's the way you can tell pretty easily from there. But you have to dodge with your shadow instead of dodging with you, and I think that's just a really clever, sort of, very unique sort of move. I like it a lot. You know, these final bosses in the game, they tend to have such unique, like, really interesting attacks, and I always do love that. Anyway, once you kill the Dark Satellmites, whatever the hell these things are, they'll sort of go all blinky, and you have to defeat them at the same time, even though that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm kind of taking my time on purpose, just so I can show off all of the Dark Star's attacks. In fact, I'll go ahead and spoil a little bit ahead for now. The boss's HP isn't that high, so I do actually kind of go a little easy on it later on, just to make sure I can show off all of his attacks. Anyway, these two things are destroyed, and what he's going to do now is going to jump on a bomb, pay attention to one that's the Satellmite, use that bro's hammer, and you can actually hit the Dark Star and weaken it. If you do it for both of these things, you'll be able to weaken it enough to actually do damage to it. So if we get this right, hit Luigi, bam, we'll now be able to actually attack the Dark Star with everything we got. So we're going to do just that. Where's our special attacks? Now, I'm not going to go all out with Falling Star Magic Window yet. It's going to be a little too quick, so we'll do some of the weaker attacks like Mighty Meteor, because I do want to show off what happens later, because his attacks do power up later on in the match. But if I finish them all off now, we won't be able to see them, and that's no fun. So I'll go ahead and make sure he doesn't die through this round, because like a lot of these bosses that do require you do a certain bit, after a certain, well, I actually got power down on him, that's convenient, but after a certain amount of turns, you're gonna actually, he's gonna obviously revive himself, to start the whole process all over again, just one of those bosses. We've come to expect them by now. Let's go ahead and do the spin pipe. The spin pipe is a lot of fun. We'll do that one. So basically, also the other thing, as you saw, he does counterattack every time you attack him. So if you attack him, bro, he will counterattack. You have to make sure you dodge that as well. It's a pretty powerful counterattack, so be careful. It will do a lot of damage, and when it comes to the gauntlet, it's certainly one of the biggest banes of this boss, that counterattack. I really hate that counterattack. Anyway, even with just the spin by the Mighty Meteor, we've done a ton of damage. I really cannot do the Mighty Meteor. I think that, those and the Flare Flowers are probably my worst items in the game. I just suck really badly at those ones. But yeah, I don't want to finish him off. I think he has somewhere around 1,200 health, so I'm already probably at the halfway point. So let's just go ahead and do a jump until he revives himself. That way we can see, there we go, revive. And now he'll actually start doing his more, the same attacks, but he does them tougher versions of them, as you're going to see. That's what I'm trying to say. Spawn your freaking minions, dude. Thank you. Jeez, giving me nothing to attack. How rude is that? If the Dark Star never spawned those things, he'd be invincible and he'd win. He never realized that. Anyways, you can see the more advanced version is pretty simply just summons more of these things to dodge, which can be tricky. Funnily enough, the giant shell, he still can't even hurt me, even though I have the giant shell. Oh, he does have another attack that I didn't get to show off. Actually, a laser thing. Mario, no! He fell down, but the giant shell means they do not. Just the giant shell is so overpowered, man. Like, even a giant laser, it negates all the attack, because it's not total damage, it's damage per hit that does several hits. So while if I had the giant shell, that would have done a ton of damage, easily over 25%. Because it does it in different parts, the giant shell negates all of it. So giant shell is a little bit overpowered. As you can see, his minions can actually heal him and give him a defense boost as well. So be careful for that. You don't want him to get too much health back. So make sure you finish him off nice and fast. That laser, by the way, the cool thing is, as you can see, after you rise above Starlo, you have to let go right away, or else he's going to charge up there and hit you. So once you've, actually, speak of the devil, so after you fire his laser, the moment he stops, drop down immediately, because you see he's going to charge up and try to smack us with his body. And that will do damage, so make sure you don't do that. The more advanced version of the Shadow thing, obviously, is just more shadows to dodge. So, obviously, you can tell which ones are Mario and which ones are Luigi. He also will attack 2 targets at a time, so be careful about that as well. Anyways, and that's basically the gist of all the Dark Star's attacks. I do find it really funny that the lasers can negate the giant shell is really overpowered. For those of you who are wondering, Lucky, why didn't you try to get the Dark Star's secret item? Because he does actually drop a piece of armor, which actually can be useful as one of his drops. So I could have gone for the whole treasure, the little treasure item to try and get it. Now, the reason for that is there's actually a section later on where you can get it just out in the open, just like inside Peach's castle. So, considering the fact that I really only need 1 copy of it, I mean, I guess you could get 2 copies of it, and this would be the way to get 2 copies of it if you need to. But I only really want 1. So it's called D-Starware. I'll actually go ahead and tell you what it does. Basically, it gives you like 60 or 70 power. I don't remember the exact stats, but it gives no defense. So basically, it's like armor that instead of giving defense gives power. Now, you guys must probably wonder, how is that useful? You know, taking so much damage and only doing a little bit of extra damage. Well, the gauntlets are timed. Well, not timed, but a number of turns timed. So having extra power means you can just sort of blitz your way through the gauntlet a lot faster, and if you can dodge attacks good enough, you can make sure that you don't die that much. And then it also will go really well with stuff like the DX Power Gloves. So you can get like a 20% power boost on top of extra power from the armor. You can just get your power to like ridiculous levels using the D-Starware. So it's very useful for the gauntlet. Usually, even with the extra defense, especially if you have something like the small shell, you can still take an extra hit regardless. Which can be that's going to be sort of the combination. I'm going to explain more of that when I get to the whole gauntlet thing, because it's sort of a combination I'll be using for the gauntlet. Oh, and he also has this attack. It's not really changed though from the former version. The whole gauntlet, what I'm going to do in terms of equipment for the gauntlet, I'll explain that more later on. But for now, I'm not going to make a really big deal out of it. Really, it's going to involve the D-Starware though, and while I could have gotten it from this boss, well, I do want 1 character to be tanky as well, which is why I only want 1 copy. I only want 1 character to really be super damage dealing. I want another character to actually be able to take hits just in case, so you don't, accidentally die. And even then, there's other ways to boost power. I think the Masterware is also a great one, just because it boosts your special attacks. So I'm probably going to have someone be like D-Starware, and someone be the Masterware for the increased special attack boost, which is almost just as potent as having the, the D-Starware on. So I think that's a good combination for the gauntlet. If you want extra D-Starware, do reset until the boss drops it, but you can also get it later on in the game. So if you only want 1 copy, don't waste your time. It takes forever to try to grind these sort of things out. Anyway, ironically enough, the falling star defeats the Dark Star. How fitting is that, man? And he has one last attack where he tries to suck you away and kill you. If you mash the A and B button, though, you can escape and get away in time, and then he explodes, and the Dark Star has been defeated, guys. However, that's not the end of the game, even though we got 9,999 experience, and that's pretty much an instant level right there. Level 30. This is actually this is actually where we're going to end up for Mario and Luigi. So Mario and Luigi will end the game at level 30. Pretty awesome. Actually, slightly lower than what I usually end the game off. I usually end the game around level 31, level 32. So I'm a little bit less leveled up than I have been in the past. And you know what? I'm perfectly okay with that. As you guys can see, Mario and Luigi are still ridiculously overpowered, considering we had to actually hold back on the force of evil. So we're gonna have to. They're still more than powerful enough to take on the boss. The end game at this point is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, the Dark Star explores. The Dark Star explodes and leaves Bowser's body. However, he's beaten but not defeated. The battle was won, but the war is not over because he will escape. He still has succeeded in his mission to copy Bowser's DNA. So while we have ousted him from Bowser, Dark Bowser still exists. Now he looks a little bit spectrally. He looks a little incomplete now, and he's gonna stay that way for a little bit. He doesn't really look that fearsome now. But the fact is, there is still an evil copy of Bowser now roaming the world, and that's basically the game has 2 antagonists at this point: Dark Bowser and Dark Fawful, and we're gonna have to defeat both of them in order to save the world. Because the Dark Star has pretty much been split into 2. Half of it's in Dark Bowser here, and then half of it is over with Dark Fawful, who absorbed half the dark power. So As you can see, Dark Bowser's goal is to reunite with his other half by destroying Dark Fawful. So basically, Bowser and Dark Bowser, they're technically on the same side, except Dark Bowser then kidnaps Peach. So after Peach has been kidnapped for so long by Fawful, Dark Bowser kidnaps her now, which is just horrible. And there we go. There's Fawful. He's looking... Basically, Fawful's looking for Dark Bowser's looking for Fawful, and Bowser's looking to defeat both Dark Bowser and Fawful, and rescue Princess Peach and Fawful, and just for payback reasons. So we sort of have this trio of people fighting each other at this point, which, very interesting sort of stuff for the endgame, having not one but two antagonists. So we're going to have to take them both down, guys, and that's going to happen in the next episode where we start the end of this game. The end game is coming, guys. Only a few more fights to go, and we shall be done. So this is LuckySevenDX signing out. I will see you guys next time for some more Bowser into the story. I was going to quickly save, but apparently it's a cutscene. The front door is now open. We also have this part of Peach's Castle to explore, so there is a little bit of a castle left to explore. I will be doing that next episode as well, getting some interesting goodies, and there may or may not be a boss fight coming up very soon as well. A very interesting one of my favorite ones in the game, and a kind of boss fight we haven't had for quite a while. So stay tuned for that next time. I actually I kind of saved twice there and didn't read the text. The text is important, guys. Bye.